Hello everyone! I am about to try some brand new products that TikTok made me buy. You will see a lot of them on my face right now. Stay tuned if you want to see exactly what they are and my first initial thoughts on them. I'll also be doing check-ins throughout the day so you can see how everything wears. I have a few products for the face, I have a mascara, and I have a lip product. So let's get started. I am going to be doing my full face today, so I'm just going to put on the parts of makeup that I do not have any specific item for, and then I'll come back and I'll try those items. Look at who joined us! That cutie! Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. So I put a very light eye on. It's just light eyeshadow because I want the mascara to do the talking. But first, let's work on our face makeup. I have two types of primer here. The first one is the NYX Marshmallow Primer, and the second one is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. These have both blown up on TikTok. I know that the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is supposed to be a dupe for a Tatcha primer, which I have not tried, but I've heard good things about. And then the Marshmallow Primer, I got this little mini one because I wasn't sure how to feel about it. So let's see. I'm going to apply the NYX primer on half my face and then the e.l.f. primer on the other half of my face. I'm not quite sure how much to start with, so I'm just going to start with a little. Ooh. So right off the bat, this has a very sweet smell. So I see why they call it marshmallow primer. That's probably the appeal behind it, is it's kind of like the Too Faced products that have the scent. So right off the bat, I'm not a big fan, just because I think that's kind of pointless. I don't know, like some people, their skin is not going to react well to fragrance. For me, I just try to use fragrance-free products as much as I can in my life, so it's not necessary for me. However, I do love the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, but that's like the only exception. Overall, it's very smooth. It's just a smooth feeling primer. It's only slightly sticky, and yeah, we'll see kind of how long it makes my makeup last throughout the day. Next, we're going to try the Poreless Putty Primer on the other half of my face. So I just took some on my finger, which I know is not the best way to do it. You should probably use a spatula so you're not getting bacteria in there. So that's kind of a downside to things like this. But let's see how it looks. Right off the bat, it feels pretty smooth. I like it. I think I like it a little bit better than the NYX one already. So this is the NYX side, and this is the e.l.f. side. I will say right off the bat that the e.l.f. primer is making me look a little more shiny than the NYX primer. So I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue with longevity, or if that side of my face is going to look oily faster than the other side. To give you an idea, I am combination skin, but I lean more oily most times. I'm also wondering if maybe I just used too much of the putty primer. It might be a little goes a long way. Next, we have another product from e.l.f. This is the Camo CC Cream, and I got the fairest shade, I believe, which is Fair 120N, so it has neutral and beige undertones. I ordered this online, so I hate ordering things online because it can be really tricky to get the correct shade, but all the other shades just looked like they would be too orange or too dark for me. I will say this looks pretty similar to my Cover FX Natural Finish Foundation, which is in N10, so it's also a neutral, so I figured that would work. It's maybe a hair paler, which if it's only a little pale, we can make that work. It has a pump, which I absolutely love. I'm going to be using a beauty blender since that's what I typically use with my foundations. And I'm just going to start off with that amount. That's typically the amount that I apply on the Beauty Blender from the Cover FX foundation, which is kind of what I'm comparing this to. Although this might have less coverage because it's a CC cream. So let's give it a go. I have some lovely acne today. So right here around the chin area. So we will see how it covers by itself before I put on concealer. Okay, so I'm looking a little ghostly. Oh my goodness. I'm a little pale. I know I'm pale, but this is making me look like pale. So we're definitely gonna have to warm the face up. Take it down the neck, you know. We have to make it look like it's okay. So besides me looking so ghostly, like, wow, that's cute. And also, I'm gonna say, I look more ghostly on camera than I do in person. In person, I feel like I can make this work better. But because of the lights and stuff, maybe it's just pulling a little paler. I am curious how this is going to look with flash photography after all is said and done and I have my face done, if it'll still pull really pale. But coverage-wise, I mean, this is kind of what I go for normally with coverage. I don't like terribly heavy or full coverage foundations. That's just not my preference. So I really like the skin to look skin-like. And I would say this isn't bad. Obviously, I need some concealer and stuff on the acne, the dark circles. But again, it's a CC cream. However, I will say this says color correcting full coverage natural finish. So I'm assuming they want it to be more full coverage, which if something's full coverage, it's going to conceal those pimples for sure. I would say maybe up to medium coverage. I don't think it's any more than that. But I also did put just one layer, about one pump. It says apply 1 to 2 pumps, so it could maybe be a little bit better. I'm also realizing this has SPF 30. I did not know that before, which means I'm very curious if there will be flashback. And it also is probably why I feel so pale right now, is the SPF could be playing a role. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit and dot it on those pimples and see if it covers without having to use concealer. Like, let's see what happens. So it's not bad. You can definitely still tell they're there. I think you're always going to be able to tell they're there just because they're very prominent. But it did cover some more. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on putting some concealer on, and then I will move on to setting the face, which is another item that TikTok made me buy. All right, so I have some concealer under my eyes and on the pimples and around the nose, and now I'm going to set it in place. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This is in the color Light. I believe there were 3 different colors, and this just made the most sense to me. I think there was a shimmery one, and I just don't want shimmer all over my face. Now this may have a little bit of shimmer in it to kind of give the illusion that you have like this healthy glow, but from what I've seen, it's not like disco ball. So this says, want to make your skin look like it's wearing a beauty filter? That's quite the claim. So we will see. Also, I typically hate loose powders. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that typically I use pressed powders on myself and even on clients when I can get away with it, because I just don't want to mess with the mess that is a loose powder. But I'm doing it for you guys, so let's get in there. So I'm just going to take my typical powder brush. Okay, I have some on. And I'm just going to go like I normally would and just dab it all over my face. I'm not quite sure how much to use, but we will see. I'm even going to try it under the eyes. Typically I use my Kat translucent powder, but let's see what happens, because it's a light shade. My initial thoughts about the powder, I actually kind of like how it looks under my eyes. All over, I mean, it looks fine. It's maybe a hair more powdery than I normally like, so maybe I would just use a little less next time. But it's nice looking. I think, yeah, if I get up like too close in the mirror, it's like there's just a little too much on my face. But it's not bad. I'm going to work on finishing the rest of my face and warming it up a little and trying to work with this foundation, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I put on some bronzer, blush, highlight, and I did my brows, and I think it's all starting to come together. I will say something I noticed is kind of on both sides, but especially on the side that I used the e.l.f. Putty primer, is my brows seemed a little waxy when I was penciling them in. And I just used the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil. I use it all the time, so I kind of know how it feels and how it works, and I just feel like this side has a little waxiness to it especially. So maybe I got some of it in my brow area, but we will see again how that goes throughout the day. So the next thing that we are trying is the coveted Maybelline Sky High Mascara. When I tell you this stuff was hard to find, I'm not joking, okay? I could only get the waterproof, so that's the one that I'm going to be talking about today, which I'm not too happy about just because I don't use waterproof mascara on the daily because it's not great to use every single day, and I really wanted to get some good use out of this, but this was literally the only one I could find. When I tell you, when I went in Target and it was just sitting on the shelf by its lonesome, it was the last one, I like practically ran to get it because there were people around me and I'm like, that's mine. But anyways, I digress. So the point is I have it. I know a lot of people have tried it by now, clearly, because it was sold out, but let's give it a go. The original person who tried it on TikTok, their lashes just grew and grew. And I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm like, all right, it's a mascara, but like they did like 1 or 2 coats, and it just was mind-blowing. I am going to curl my lashes because I always curl my lashes, so I want to see how it looks compared to what I'm used to wearing. Oh, please. My eyes are watering and I have no idea why. Woo! Don't you love when that happens? I will say my first reaction is the wand is very wiggly. I'm used to using stiffer mascara wands, so we will see if that makes a difference. I'm going to start by doing my lower lashes because that's how I normally do it. I will say this is a mascara that I have found people either love or hate. There's no in between. One of my friends had said she disliked it because it was just very watery. And I think I'm starting to see what she means by that because the amount of effort that took to put on my lower lashes, it's almost like it was so watery that it just didn't want to latch on to the lashes, which ain't nobody got time for that. We're just trying to put on our makeup and go. We got things to do, people to see, places to go. So let's see how it works on the upper lashes. So I'm not dipping the brush back in. This is how I normally work. I'm just gonna put it on, and it's also falling out on my face. Do you see that? Do you see that? So that's kind of a little bit annoying. I'm doing my wiggle method. So I put it at the base of my lashes and then wiggle as I go up. That's normally what I do to disperse it evenly. First impressions. So I will zoom in on my face so you can see what's going on with the mascara. You can compare it to how I normally wear it in pictures and videos. I will say it doesn't look bad. Once it's on, it looks really pretty. It looks probably mostly normal to me, though. It looks, with one coat, it looks like any other mascara that I apply. I am typically a 1 coat person just because I don't want to spend an hour removing my makeup at the end of the night. And I also just prefer natural looking makeup. However, it's pretty. It's not bad, but I think the process to apply it, I have to work a little slower to make sure I don't mess it up because the wand is so wiggly and because the formula is so wet. Now, I am going to, on my upper lashes, do a second coat because this is where the magic supposedly happens. And I'm doing this with waterproof, so I'm committed. It definitely does make a difference. It looks more voluminous. I don't know if it's necessarily much longer. Like when I tell you that this person, their lashes just grew to the heavens, I don't know if I see that happening with mine. I see it more on this side than I do this side, and I will say that's probably a me issue because for some reason, my lashes are a little shorter on this side than this side lately. I don't know, but that's what's happening. So I definitely see a little bit more of the length on this side than I do on this side, and I see more volume over here. I will say I would not do more than 2 coats just because it's already starting to take on that slightly spidery effect. You know, like little spider legs, they're like chunky. That's not the look I go for. It's just not for me. So if that's for you, keep going, and I'm sure it'll go ham and it'll be amazing. But for me, I think this is where I would definitely stop. And the lower lashes, I do think it makes my lower lashes look slightly longer than typical mascaras I use. But like I said, for my lower lashes, it took so much effort to put it on there without messing it up that I don't know how often I would do that. And now we are on to the last product that I have. This is the NYX Shine Loud Ambition Statement Lip Color. So the idea behind this is it's kind of like a liquid lipstick and a gloss, and the idea is that it stays. It does not transfer. I need to know if this really works because this was not expensive, and if this does not transfer and also does not dry out your lips throughout the day, then this might be very important to use. Just because when you need that super long-lasting lip color and you don't want it to transfer, like when you are kissing a partner for your wedding, then this could be it. This could be the new craze. So I have high hopes for this one. I am also starting with no lip balm on my lips. I want to see if this really dries them out. Is it supposed to look like that? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I can't tell if that's how it's actually supposed to look or not. Because some pictures I see people angling it. So I'm wondering if you are supposed to use it like this. But then some pictures, I swear it looks like a normal applicator. We'll work with it. So I'm going to put this on my lips. By the way, this is the only color I could get. This is another thing that sold out. So I was like, this should look fine on me. So I'm going to apply this first. This applicator makes it really hard to do straight, like lines. This is incredibly sticky. Hopefully that dries down. I think maybe the stickiness is because it's drying down to last longer. But so far I'm not a fan. Look at my lips. Ew. I'm going to give it a little longer to dry down because I think maybe you're supposed to let it completely dry down and then you apply the gloss. The sides of my mouth keep sticking together. If that's going to continue happening, I'm going to take this off. Alright, so it's still drying down. It's still super sticky. And now it's starting to like get a gross kind of peely effect. So let me put the gloss on and that might make everything better. Can you tell by my reaction that I'm like not loving this? So I will say the gloss feels weird to put on. Half that might be because it's a brush applicator and I'm not used to that. But the other half I think is because it doesn't feel like what a traditional gloss feels like. And it just, I can't describe it. It just is not pleasant. So, but I will say, the stickiness is mostly gone. I don't advise putting the lip color all the way on the corners of your mouth because that part is still a little sticky to me because I can't put the gloss there. So, yeah. But overall, it's not sticky now. And it does have a nice shine. However, this accentuates all of the lines in my lips. And it feels heavy. I mean, all right, here's the thing. I am a person who is used to wearing normal lipstick, normal lip liner, normal lip gloss. I am not a fan of liquid lipstick, so I already was taking a chance with this. If you are a fan of liquid lipstick, you might be more used to what this feels like on your lips, and therefore you may not have an issue with it. But I'm not loving how it feels. If you don't like the feeling of lip color, you will not like how this feels. So now I'm going to do the ultimate test. I'm going to do the kiss test on my hand. Let's see if there's transfer. That's impressive. What the? It's shiny because obviously the gloss kind of comes off some. However, you can see the gloss is still on my lips. So it doesn't, it's not like one kiss with lip gloss and then it's off. My lips are still pretty glossy. It didn't come off. What the heck? I am so impressed right now. I don't own anything that doesn't transfer even a little bit. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. It's just shiny. Oh my god. I'm just like making out with my hand now. What the heck? I kissed it 3 times. So after 3 times, it's a lot less shiny, obviously, but it's not coming off. What happens if I rub? Oh my god. I'm like really getting in there and trying to rub it off. Nothing. Nothing. What? Okay, a little flake came off, but that's probably more me than the product. What? So I was hating on this because I still don't like how it feels. The color itself is nice. This is a color I'd wear, so I'm not mad at that. It still just feels heavy and slightly sticky to me, which is not my favorite. However, if you need something that's gonna last, that's it. That's it. Still not a huge fan for brides though, because I don't want to accentuate brides' lines in their lips because I think it just makes you look a little older, and it's not cute. Like right here, you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, it's like already like split down the middle in my lower lip, which that didn't take long. So it's not my favorite look, but I'm completely shook that that actually worked. I've never tried a lip color like that before. So, if you're looking for something long lasting and that's it, spend 10 bucks and get one of these. Hello everyone. So I am just checking in. I have the front camera on this time just so I can see myself, but I just wanted to show you kind of what's going on with my face. It has been roughly 4 to 5 hours since I put this on. My concealer is creasing like crazy, more than it normally does, so I feel like maybe that's the CC cream under there. But this is kind of what we got going on. So from what I can tell, the primers don't really look different on my face so far. I don't see really much of a difference. I do see that the foundation still just looks too pale to me. It's like I need like one shade down. It just, you can see the difference between my chest and neck and my face, and I'm just not loving it. So I really just, I'm not a fan. And then the lips. So guys, I had lunch, I had soup, and I had grapes, and I had stuff, and the lipstick is still on. Obviously, it's really settled in the fine lines, but it is still there. It is still kiss-proof and not transferring, and I'm still impressed by that, but I mean, I'm still not a fan. You can see the inside of my mouth. It's starting to fade. And I kept it on specifically for you guys because I usually like to take my lipstick off when I eat. So, but I'm sticking it out. So that's kind of my update. It's not terrible. It's just, I don't feel great. This isn't how I normally like to wear my makeup. I just feel pale and kind of bleh. So I will check in again later. So here is my last update for the night. As you can see, it is dark, so I have just regular lights on so you can get another kind of idea of how it looks. But overall, I don't know. Like, it's not terrible, but I'm still just not loving it. So let's go through everything. The primers, don't see much of a difference from either side. Like, neither side got more oily than the other or anything like that. I think both sides look about the same as far as like blush longevity and everything like that. So no worries there. I just don't prefer the smell of the marshmallow one. Then we have the mascara. Obviously still looks good. It didn't flake off, which I'm happy about. What else do we have? The powder is fine. Again, I'd probably use a bit less when I initially apply. It's not terrible, not my favorite. The lips. This is still the original application. So just so you know, this is about 10 hours after I applied everything, and I purposely did not use setting spray so that we could see how the primers worked. So as you can see, the inner part of my lips is fading, obviously, because I've been eating and drinking. And the food has gotten on my mouth too. Like it's kind of like I let it get messy and it didn't really affect the rest of the lip color, which I thought was really interesting. But obviously it looks just dry and cracky and not the best. Again, it's not my favorite formula, so I probably will not continue using it often. I did blow my nose a couple hours ago, and as you can see, I didn't touch up, so it's a little red. I will say I think this side stayed on a little bit better than this side, which means the e.l.f. primer maybe helped a little bit more than the NYX primer. Also, the CC cream, I mean, it doesn't look terrible in this. I don't like how it mixed with under my eyes. I just don't like how it looks. And overall, again, it's kind of pale and kind of, I've noticed throughout the day in certain light, it emphasizes the like mustache area, like makes it look shadowy and not cute and picks up on any hairs that are there. So I just think it's not my perfect shade. Hopefully these check-ins were helpful. So that is all I have for you today. These are some makeup items that TikTok made me buy. If you would like to see another version of this, a part 2 maybe, let me know because I know TikTok will always have amazing makeup gems to push our way. I do know recently the Kat Von D Apple Foundation is taking off. I cannot find it, and I also found out that it wouldn't probably be the best for me because if you have more oily skin, it's just not cute because it has so much oil in it. So, but yeah, let me know if you want to see more of these because this was pretty fun. What is a favorite item of yours that TikTok has made you buy? Comment down below and let me know. As always, check the links down below in the description box. I do have a free guide for you how to find your undertone as well as other goodies. And I will see you in future videos. Bye! Miss, can you stop licking yourself, please? What are you doing with the cord? Oh, I didn't mean to make you jump. I'm sorry. She got scared from my clapping.